The Black Dahlia murder, so shocking, so brutal, infamous unsolved murders in American history.
Whoever killed Elizabeth Short did not kill her in the empty lot where she was found. Her body had been washed, bisected, and transported. Despite her injuries, almost no blood was beneath her. Investigators knew the lot was only where the killer had left her. The real crime scene was somewhere else, and then it disappeared. "79 years later, a forensic team pulled a loose baseboard from beneath a heater in an operating Los Angeles motel. Behind layers of drywall, plaster, and paint, they say they found a concealed space and evidence of extensive bloodshed. Nearly 40 suspected samples and announced DNA testing made it sound like the missing room, but the motel's name is still withheld. No laboratory result has been released, and an old district attorney's report may directly contradict the entire theory. Elizabeth Short was 22. Despite later mythology, she had no documented acting career or reliable link to prostitution. Even Black Dahlia may not have been a name she commonly used. Newspapers created a character before police reconstructed her final days. Her last reliable movements begin on January 9, 1947. Robert "Red" Manley drove her from San Diego to Los Angeles. They checked her luggage at the bus station, and at about 6:30 that evening, Manley left her at the Biltmore Hotel. Later sightings were reported, including stories about her leaving with another person. None forms a secure timeline. For the next 6 days, Short's movements are unknown. At about 10 on January 15th, Betty Bersinger was walking with her daughter through the 3,800 block of South Norton Avenue. A few feet from the pavement, she saw what looked like a broken mannequin. It was Short's body. The deliberate placement and absence of blood indicated that she had been killed elsewhere. Reporters then crowded the lot before it was secured, compromising an already limited recovery scene. The FBI identified Short using fingerprints from a 1943 Camp Cook job application and a Santa Barbara underage drinking arrest. The match reportedly took 56 minutes. On January 24th, a newspaper received her birth certificate, social security card, photographs, and an address book, reportedly cleaned with gasoline. The contents strongly connected the package to the case, but did not prove its sender was the killer. Later letters, surrender promises, and confessions were less credible. Police checked roughly 75 men from the address book. The FBI examined medical students because the injuries suggested anatomical knowledge. Neither effort produced an answer. Skill could not identify a profession. The famous suspects also fell short. Manley was questioned, tested, and released. Mark Hansen was connected to the address book but never charged. Physician George Hodel became the center of his son's later theory, yet no verified physical evidence publicly connects Hodel to Short or her murder. The missing location remained the greater problem. One theory pointed to the Astor Motel at 2901 South Flower Street. Investigators reportedly searched all 10 cabins in August 1949, removing sections of trim while looking for blood. They found no connection to the murder. In 1950, District Attorney Investigator Frank Jemison's final report concluded that the evidence indicated Short had never been there. The team has not named its motel. Contextual clues suggest the Astor, but the production has not confirmed it. If it is the same property, the team must explain what the 1949 search missed and why prosecutors rejected the location. The search reportedly began around 2021, when an original detective's son gave Jeff Thomas and Kimberly Lupini a tip. In 2022, forensic consultant Jim Neiman and Leslie Thompson, described as a senior sheriff's department criminalist, entered the room. The loose baseboard beneath the heater led into the wall. The team says it spent more than 60 hours dismantling the room, documenting 7 layers of drywall, 5 layers of paint, and a concealed area. It collected nearly 40 suspected blood samples. The filmmakers claim the stains match eyewitness descriptions in unreleased files. They also say the motel was not yet open when Short was killed, then altered and sold soon afterward. But the supporting records remain unreleased, and every forensic detail comes from the production itself. A screening test can react to material consistent with blood. It cannot establish that it is human, identify a person, or date the stain. An operating motel carries decades of guests, repairs, moisture, and construction. Connecting a sample to Short requires confirmed human blood, a usable DNA profile, contamination controls, and an authenticated comparison. It also requires custody records and proof that the wall existed in January 1947. None of those links is public. No independent laboratory has reproduced a result. LAPD has not publicly accepted the room as a crime scene. The announcement also comes from an in-development documentary project with a planned series and book. That does not make the discovery false. It means the evidence must be separated from the promotion. What is established is narrow. Short was killed somewhere other than the lot. A documentary team opened a concealed motel space and reported suspected blood. The claim can be tested. What has not been established is everything required to call that room hers. The real question is whether one securely documented sample can produce human DNA that independently matches Elizabeth Short. Until then, the wall may be hiding evidence. It has not solved the Black Dahlia murder,